She's alive. Alive!
So, do you know what I was thinking about this week?
Yes. No, I don't actually.
Well, no, you see, people shit on remakes, right? Generally, they shit on remakes. And what got me kind of thinking about it was, we watched Black Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Then we watched the remake to Black Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, the remake doesn't hold a candle to the first, to the original, right? The original is scary, it's unsettling, it's a fucking solid horror.
Yeah, yeah.
The more I started thinking about it, I was like, fuck, you know, if the 2006 version of Black Christmas wasn't saddled with the legacy of the original, it's a good little horror movie. And I started thinking more about other remakes, and it's kind of a similar kind of feeling. It's like,
you have a lot to live up to, like,
but
with
that's
a lot
what I'm
of them.
saying.
Yeah.
You look at like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
You can.
One of my favorite all-time movies, and as far as I'm concerned, the greatest horror movie ever made.
Mm-hmm.
Then you look at the remake. Now, a lot of people love the remake. I don't particularly like the remake, but I don't like the remake because I'm constantly comparing it to the greatest horror movie ever fucking made. But it makes it impossible.
But I think what suits a lot of horror is a raw, gritty feel that you really only kind of get in the low-budget kind of 70s, 80s.
Well, really,
but like now everything is too cleaned up, I think, for that kind of horror.
That, because I mean, like, obviously, if you're going to remake something, you gotta go a bit bigger. You can't just. I mean, we see this with Psycho.
Mm-hmm.
Psycho, they tried a shot-for-shot remake in '97, where it was literally an identical movie to the original with new actors in color.
Shot for shot doesn't. Exactly. Well. It doesn't work. They did the same.
Right?
I know it's not horror, but they did the same with the Lion King live action. Everybody was like, "What the fuck?" Like,
but that's it. You got nothing new. So what's the point? Why do we need a shot-for-shot remake? I mean, why not just
new to the table?
If you really need colorize the fucking original, whatever.
Like they did with not Dawn of the Dead, the black and white one. You can only get it
Night
on
of the Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead.
That wasn't colorized. That was, unless there is a colorized version. I haven't seen a colorized version. Tom Savini remade it very well, and it was the version I originally saw.
With the girl with the long blonde hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very hard to get a black and white one on the internet now if you're going through, like, say, Amazon Prime and stuff like that.
You claim this from your brother. You said your brother said he could not find it. Night of the Living Dead is public domain. You can watch that shit on YouTube in black and white.
You can, but I'm just saying they did colorize it.
I've never seen a color version of it.
I have.
Not once. Look it up there. But
I'll show you because I've seen it lately colorized as well.
Actual video footage or stills.
Video footage.
Because I think you might just be getting clips from the fucking 1990 Tom Savini remake that was produced by George Romero.
Wait for it.
Okay, that's an ad.
That is an ad. This is a colorized ad.
Whole movie.
It's another ad.
I saw a tiny clip of it there.
It's colorized, but it's not great. It's like watercolors.
Well, that's beside the point. What I'm saying is, when I was watching Black Christmas, the remake, and as it went on, and I was looking, I was like, afterwards, I was like, realistically, if I had watched that movie and never heard of Black Christmas previously, or if that movie was called anything else bar Black Christmas, would I be complaining, or would I have been like, that was a fun time?
Well, my main issue would still have been in the movie, and that's it. Just kind of
what didn't you like about it?
In the remake, when they were talking about the sister, and then they zoomed in on like a throwback to the last time, as if they were like leading you, as in like there was no need to put that scene there, like that kind of way.
What scene?
Right, when they're talking about the sister and they're kind of giving the backstory, and then they go back to, what's her name, Eva or Edwina or something like that. And the girl with the glasses.
The funky looking girl.
Yeah.
The one that's not the hot sorority sister.
While they're talking about that sister, the sister, they zoom back to a scene that we had already seen her in. Just her. They zoom in on her. And it's not even a red herring. Like it's
exactly a red herring.
No, but that's what
you
I'm
have
saying.
been stuck on this scene
No.
all week. She was put there to misdirect
Are you going to let me carry on? It's not a misdirection. It's a really kind of like in your face misdirection. For me, a misdirection is you're kind of getting like tidbits, like here and here.
It's like you're misremembering what you were saying to me when you watched it. Because when we watched that movie, you turned around and you were like, "That's the sister." Instantly, you were like, "That's the sister," and I was like, I don't know. They're kind of giving it away a bit early if it is.
But I did say that's the sister before they even zoomed back to her. I said, "Oh my God, that's the sister." And then they were halfway through the scene, and then they zoomed back to that scene again with her standing on the stairs. Yeah. And that's when I said, "Oh my God, I know she." I did say that she had two eyes, but I was like, "So they're." And you said that they're giving it away very, very early.
So I knew it wasn't her.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like, to me, misdirection is a bit more subtle. Like, do you know that kind of way?
You say so, but I mean, again, for the time it came out, 2006, it was a lot of like the early 2000 movies heavily kind of rely on the sudden kind of evolution of blood, guts, and gore. You know, suddenly we could make it look a lot more realistic and we could be a lot more violent. And I think that's where they leaned into with a lot of these remakes. It was, let's just make them more violent. But I mean, like, I don't know. For me, it just feels like in a lot of these cases, especially when you look at like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I probably would have said it was a better movie if it wasn't called a Texas Chainsaw. It's the best way I can describe this.
The Wisconsin Chainsaw Massacre.
No, but just something completely different. The best way I can describe this was how I looked at the Chucky remake. When they said they were going remaking Child's Play, and me being a huge Child's Play fan, like that was one of my main horror fucking movies as a teenager. One of the first, Scream and Chucky were the two that got me to fall in love with horror movies, right? And the idea of anyone voicing Chucky outside of Brad Dourif, it was like a fucking
travesty.
No, that's just not going to happen. But then the producers of that movie, they caught me on the fucking hop because they turned around, they were like, "Well, listen, hear me out. What if we don't use Brad Dourif, but Luke Skywalker will be the voice instead?" And I was like, "Well, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. That's two of my favorite franchises. We're just mashing them up. Let's do this."
Mark Hamill has a good creepy voice as well. I mean, like in the Joker and in Batman and stuff like that.
I'm ready to do this. And then we watched the movie, and I came out and I was like, "That was a good movie. It just wasn't It wasn't a Chucky movie."
Yeah.
Because Chucky is a sentient fucking person. He's a living person inside a doll. This was just Alexa gone crazy. Do you know?
Much.
So, and I was able to separate them and love both for completely separate fucking reasons. And it was because I didn't look at the new Child's Play as having any connection to the old Child's Play in my head, bar a few fucking names.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's fine, that's grand. But that's what I'm saying. I'm like, if you look at like Last House on the Left, you look at, what else did I have up here? Last House on the Left, we have Black Christmas, you have The Hills Have Eyes. I don't know about The Hills Have Eyes. I can't remember the remake to The Hills Have Eyes. That's being honest. I have to watch that again. But I really like the original. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, stuff like that. And you're thinking, I mean, you've seen movies that have similar level of storyline, similar level of script ability, or like in terms of actors' ability, script writing, or like dialogue, guts and gore, makeup effects, all that kind of shit to that quality. You've watched countless movies that have had no real relation to any fucking legacy movie, and you've been like, well, that was a fun fucking movie. But just because these movies are reimagined versions of a movie you already love, it instantly puts this fucking extra weight on this new movie. This new movie has to live up to unrealistic expectations of the older movie. Do you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, it hurts it. I mean, sometimes it helps. I mean, my first, speaking of Night of the Living Dead, my first Night of the Living Dead was the Savini version.
I think that was my first version as well.
And it is my favorite.
Well, I have a soft spot for Tom Savini.
Do you know, and I have no problem with saying that the Tom Savini version is my favorite because it was the first one I saw and it made me fall in love with the whole Romero fucking movie series. And I started watching the rest of them going from that one. Do you know?
Yeah.
But it's just something I was thinking about. It was like, is it? And then there's the other side of it that I absolutely fucking hate is when they take the title of, speaking of Black Christmas, when they take the title of a fucking really popular fucking movie and then call it a remake, but it has nothing to do like that. There's 3 Black Christmas. There's the original, there's the 2006 one, and there's a 2019 version. The 2019 version is a completely different story.
Mm-hmm. But was it
completely different?
Was
story.
It promoted as a remake?
Oh. And it's a
but I mean, Deathstalker has a kind of a different story.
And even you and me were talking about, but that's different.
Was that supposed to be a remake, or was it more kind of like a?
It was just I think with something like Deathstalker, where it's more episodic, where there's not a real fucking continuous story, like you're just following a guy. It's like Hercules, the TV series. It doesn't really matter what he's doing one week to the other.
Yeah.
It's just you're just there to watch.
Yeah.
And kind of in this case, it's with Black Christmas, it's like, because they did the same thing with Silent Night, Deadly Night. Right? We're getting a new version now. We're getting a remake of that. I'm looking forward to that because I like the idea of the actor that's
are you going to talk about the second installment of Silent Night?
No.
Okay.
I'm not even going to complain about that.
Okay.
Right? I'm not going to complain about that because I understand that's been explained to me. I understand why they did the way they did it. If you haven't seen it, you have Silent Night, Deadly. I don't want to get too far into it because it's still the end of November, and from next week on, we got to talk loads of Christmas stuff. So, do you know what? Fuck it. You can find out next week what I think about Silent Night, Deadly Night. But the point is that they remade Silent Night, Deadly Night, calling it Silent Night.
Okay.
And they marketed it as a remake, but it has nothing to do with the original story.
They're just piggybacking off the...
But that's bullshit. I don't want that fucking shit.
I know.
And that fucks it. But you're almost killing the fucking movie before it has a chance to get out the fucking gate.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know? Because now all the Silent Night, Deadly Night fans are going there expecting to see a remake of a movie they fucking love. And up to date, more original, you know, with some new kills, new bits and pieces added in, but something new onto their old that they already love.
Mm-hmm.
And you're completely changing the story. And it's like, well, this isn't the movie I fucking came to see. It was the same with Child's Play. It's just that when I went into Child's Play, I already knew before I sat down in the fucking cinema that we weren't doing the voodoo shit. We weren't doing the serial killer shit. This was AI gone wrong. And that had been explained to me before I got there, so I knew what to expect. I wasn't going in there expecting the same story. I was expecting a reimagining of the... But it's still pretty close to the original in terms of the steps it takes. It's just slightly different because instead of Chucky wanting to kill everybody, including Andy, Chucky loves Andy and wants to fucking kill everyone that harms Andy, which is fine. It's just Megan, but smaller and red-haired. And obviously with Mark Hamill as the voice. Yeah. Now, if you ask me, just while we're on the subject of that, I have already, because I understand Brad Dourif is aging. He's getting there. And humans die. IP lasts forever. And Chucky will go on eventually when Dourif passes or retires or whatever. I do have who I want to take over that voice in mind. Who? Stephen Ogg.
Oh, from Red Dead. Not Red Dead.
From The Walking Dead.
Yes, and
what was the shit one that we watched? The one that shit.
He does the voice in Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, Trevor.
Yeah.
What was that movie we watched last day?
Plumber Man, Scary Plumber.
No, it was shit was in the title.
Okay, I'll have a look because
it's the one where he's the plumber and the monsters coming through the it's a comedy. It's a comedy horror. Just Stephen Ogg plumber movie. I'm sure you'll find it.
Oh, Scared Shitless.
Scared Shitless.
Only from last year.
But that dude, when you listen to him as Trevor, you can imagine Trevor
He's kind of got
in
that
the
dirty
role
voice.
of Chucky.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. I mean, as soon as I realized who he was, when I saw him on The Walking Dead and I was listening to talking, I was like, that dude is my pick to be Chucky someday. So I mean,
if you're talking in terms of Charles Lee Ray, I think that Fiona did an absolutely fantastic job.
But it was still Brad's voice over it.
Oh, I know, but I mean, looks wise, if they wanted to show Charles Lee Ray on the screen,
because she of course she.
No, but I mean the way she's done up everything about it, I think was fantastic.
If you are going to move away from Brad Dourif, you move
completely away and just recast the living version even as well as the voice.
There you go with Stephen Ogg. Stephen Ogg's the man to play that role. I think. I hope that someone somewhere hears me and tells Don. And
you've just made your fortune as a casting director.
But yeah, that was just my little fucking thought on remakes. And it's like, are we hurting? So in some of these cases, are we hurting them by putting these legendary? And why are we remaking legendary movies? Some movies don't need to be remade.
No.
All right, we're back. That was my fault. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty. I forgot to fucking
charge the
headphones. And then see what happened was, because of the program I use, I'm very aware that every sound my computer makes is picked up on the video. Not on the track, on the audio track, but on the video track. And I knew that my headphones, because of the low battery, were kind of making a dinging sound in my head to let me know that the battery was dying.
Yeah.
So then I turned off the headphones and put it down, which you could see in the video if you're watching. And as soon as I turned off my headphones, the whole fucking recording program went absolutely crazy and flatlined. So you were talking and all I could see was flatline. So yeah, we're back.
So you weren't actually listening to
me. I fixed it. I was listening. I said, I think some classics do not need to be remade. When you look at stuff like, I would say Star Wars, for instance, or Texas Chainsaw Massacre does not need to be remade. It's fine the way it fucking was. There's a lot of movies you don't need to go back to, and somehow you were comparing that to The Witcher.
No, I was just saying, do you know when they you were saying that when they deviate, when they do like a remake, and they deviate completely away from the storyline but keep like the title. And that's what I was saying about The Witcher at the moment. Like, I like it, I'm enjoying it, but it's been shit on online by a lot of fans because basically what they were, people that have read the books and played the games, stuff like that, even the author himself has said, I do not recognize this story. It's completely different to what people expected, and that's why people...
So as a Harry Potter fan, are you shitting yourself about this new one that's coming?
No. I think that considering what's going on at the moment in the wizarding world, with J.K. Rowling, that people aren't going to really mind if it does deviate from the storyline.
Well, they're going to have to fill more time, that's for sure.
Yeah, what is it? 7 seasons. You see, they can get all the...
for each book,
They can get all the nitty gritty in because there was like stuff left out of the movies and stuff, so they'll be able to add them in as well.
Well, that's all I had to really say, but I think it just came into my head because we actually have a lot of the news this week. Will kind of bring up remakes and reboots and just the rebuilding of some franchises. I think we might just jump into that now because I could just go on about like my feelings about remakes all day. Either way, I think generally I think from this point on, if you're a horror fan and you're going to shit in a remake, go into the remake like I did with Child's Play.
Like a blank.
Pretend like it's just something new, something different, and see how you feel about it then. Because when I thought about Black Christmas 2006 as a movie in its own right that had nothing to do with the original Black Christmas, it was a lot easier to look at and go, do you know what? It's not that bad of a fucking slasher movie. It's interesting. It's fun. The one good thing, the real upside I found to Black Christmas, the remake, was we then rewatched. We watched Black Christmas from 74, Black Christmas from 2006, and then Black Christmas from 74 again. But the phone calls in the 74 made a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Suddenly I understood everything Billy was saying on the phone. Whereas the first time it was just mad ramblings and ravings. Now I knew what he was talking about. And when you look at it, Bob Clark, who directed the original Black Christmas, is an executive producer on the second Black Christmas. So he had all this in his head already, the backstory in his head already. So obviously those phone calls were just way of trying to feed it to the audience that didn't really work. I think his intention was for us to try and pick up the story through those phone calls, which I think was impossible.
If he had dropped the word sister into the phone calls, which I didn't really hear. No. I heard Agnes.
I was just more unsettled.
I heard
where
is Agnes.
And that was enough. You know, that was kind of enough for me in that movie. It was just they were unsettled.
Well, first time around, it just feels like a slasher movie. He's obsessed with killing college girls. I never thought there was.
And for some reason, phone call kind of shit like that always creeps me out in horror movies.
Yeah.
You know, when someone's ringing you, because it's it's like fucking Michael Myers. It's that you can't see the face. It's just a shape. It's not even a shape. In this case, it's just a voice. Mm-hmm. A disembodied voice that's threatening you.
The frequency.
Do you know?
Yeah.
So let's get on to some movie news before all our system decides to shit itself again and we got no show.
Thanks for the jinxing, eh?
So this is new news. It's just a little update. 28 years later, part 2, The Bone Temple. They've released the first official poster. And we are to expect a full trailer next week.
Decent.
Which is about fucking time. I mean, the movie's out in January, isn't it?
I think so.
Definitely early in the new year.
That is.
Because I thought it was actually supposed to come out in November. I thought it was coming out like a couple of months after the first one. But then I found out it was January.
There's one here from the 3rd of September saying 28 years later, the Bone Temple official trailer, unless that was just a teaser trailer.
I think there was a teaser trailer, but this is the full trailer.
Okay, so it's being released on the 16th of January.
Yeah. So this is part 2. It was directed at the same. It was made at the same time as part 1. This one's going to be directed by Nina DaCosta, and all 3 films in the trilogy were written by Alex Garland. So I'm looking forward to the Bone Temple. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next.
Yes.
I just want to see this trailer next week so we can get a taste of what we got coming.
Just because I know some people are a bit touchy about the names. Naya DaCosta.
Cool. Next up.
Well, she deserves recognition. I mean, she did a great job of Candyman. Yeah. Fantastic job of Candyman.
Next up, I found this interesting. I put this in here just because of who's in it. Reuniting former co-stars Sophie Turner and Kit Harington.
Yes.
Are coming back for and I know you like this style, gothic horror. This is mixing both of our favorite styles of movies here.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a gothic horror movie, but it's going to be extremely bloody because it's got a fucking severe R rating for violence, bloody images, and one sexual reference.
So when is it when is it set?
All right, so the plot is the story harks back to the historical War of the Roses, 1455 to 1487.
Decent.
Though it isn't a historical political
I know that.
drama.
I understand that. Like I know the time period it's set in.
So it centers around Anne, who's played by Turner, and her sinister mother-in-law, played by Marcia Gay Harden.
Marcia Gay Harding.
Marcia? Is that how you say Marcia?
It's spelled 2 ways. Marcia Gay Harding.
Oh no, Marcia's M-A-R-S-H-A, right?
There's also M-A-R-C-I-A.
That's not Marcy. Okay. Right, whatever. And they live a hard, isolated life. When a man from their past, played by Harrington, returns, a series of horrifying events are unleashed. The tone promises a dark gothic horror vibe with likely horror psychological tension and bloody imagery given the rating.
Amazing.
As of now, The Dreadful, it's what it's called, does not have an official release date yet.
No, it doesn't. I'm having a look
So we
here.
don't know when that's coming, but it is coming. And like I said, it mixes your style with my style.
Yeah, nicely. And War of
Lots
the Roses.
of blood.
Oh my God.
History and gothic.
Actually, do you know what? Now that we're talking about that, I might do the War of the Roses for the next Playing with Bones.
Cool. I know nothing about it.
I
do kind of know about it. Yeah. It's where the Tudors kind of took over, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were the red. One was red rose and one was white rose.
No, okay. So basically, it's just before when the Tudors come into power. So you have the Lancasters and the Yorks. One is a white rose, the other is a red rose, and they're fighting for power. The Yorks win, but then eventually the Tudor, Henry VII comes and he comes back. That's a whole other story in itself. But the Tudor rose is a red and white rose because he was like, well, nobody's going to question this. So I'm from both houses. So basically he married one of the Yorks and he made his symbol the red and the white rose. So you got the red rose with the white rose inside it just to show that he was...
And which season of Game of Thrones was this?
I know, yeah. It sounds a lot like Lannister, doesn't it?
All right, so let's get into because, like I said, there's a lot of news about remakes and reboots and rebuilding right here, as the title of this episode would have you believe. So the first thing up is, in a recent interview, Matthew Lillard, who's involved with the upcoming adaptation of Carrie by Mike Flanagan, described the series as brilliant, pure adaptation of the original novel. Lillard praised the project for capturing the spirit of the source material, suggesting that fans of the book and broader horror fans alike should be pleased with what's coming. The series is going to be an 8-episode reimagining, and according to prior reports, the production of the series has now wrapped. I swear to God, I cannot win today. Dog, are you serious? I'm just going to
stand up and close out that door and boot him back out.
This is a disaster. The production is ruined. I didn't sign on for this shit. I'm a professional. Anyway, so Matthew Lillard is saying it's going to be great, but take this with a pinch of salt because Matthew Lillard seems to think everything is great. Matthew Lillard is probably the happiest man in horror movies. Matthew Lillard is like us. We think everything is great. Because I also saw during the week he was raving about how test screenings of Scream 7 have went absolutely amazing. And the fans who have seen it love it, and it's going to be great.
Seems like a genuinely nice guy, Josh.
I don't think he dislikes anything. I think the reason he was chosen to be Shaggy in Scooby-Doo is because he is as happy as Shaggy in real life.
Pretty
just
much.
without the Scooby snacks. Talking about rebuilding and rebooting the franchise, Scarlett Johansson has officially signed on to star in a brand new standalone Exorcist film with writer-director Mike Flanagan, with the project being developed by Universal, Blumhouse, Atomic Monster, Morgan Creek, and Flanagan's Red Room Pictures. There's enough fucking production companies there to make sure this one works.
Oh, absolutely.
This movie is described as a radical new take that will not continue the storyline of 2023's The Exorcist Believer, which I wasn't really a fan of. Instead, starting fresh with an entirely new story within the franchise. Johansson's casting brings major star power to the reboot, marking one of the first major ventures into mainstream horror. While Flanagan has emphasized the film will honor the legacy of the original without leaning on nostalgia. Plot details are still under wraps and production has not yet begun, meaning early release expectations have been pushed back. Earlier release expectations. That's good,
because I was half afraid that she was going to be Regan all grown up. Like, no.
And plus, he obviously couldn't be in production if the man has just finished filming fucking Carrie.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Mike Flanagan's a busy dude.
He's a go-getter, that man. He's constantly
fucking on
works
something.
For him. I've loved everything he's done so far.
But the announcement signals a renewed and seriously ambitious attempt to revitalize the Exorcist series. Again, though, here we have the same discussion as what we started with. The Exorcist. Does it need to be the best I have seen so far? I actually nearly prefer Exorcist 3 to Exorcist 1. But I mean, I know Exorcist 1. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, Exorcist 1 is, I personally enjoy 3. But I understand that Exorcist 1 is kind of on the Mount Rushmore of scariest films you're ever going to watch when you watch it for the first time. It's got to be, for me, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Black Christmas, Halloween, and The Exorcist are the 4 that when you watch them the first time ever, without anybody telling you what's going on or what's going to happen, they're going to catch you. They're going to kind of unsettle you a little bit.
I would replace, maybe this is a controversial take, but for me, I kind of knew what I was getting because I've seen so many parodies going into The Exorcist because I watched it when I was a lot older. But I would replace The Exorcist for the same reason that you've just said with the very first Conjuring. None of the rest of the Conjurings, with the very... No, I liked the use of clapping and stuff like that. I understand that, but I'm just saying scariest, that creeped me right fucking out. Oh, yeah. That's the kind of paranormal movie that I'd like. Something that proper gives me a fright. Something really creepy. None of the rest of the Conjurings did. But that, it put shivers up my back.
I enjoyed the first Conjuring, but it didn't keep me up at night.
No, it didn't keep me up at night. Did The Exorcist keep you up at night?
No, but again, it was hyped too much before I went in to watch it. It had been out for fucking 30 years before I fucking saw it. So everybody had hyped it up as the scariest thing ever made.
I got one jump
watching
scare.
it now as someone who's watched a lot of horror and kind of examines horror movies and stuff like that, I find it more unsettling now to watch it. When we covered it on the show last year and I had to rewatch it, I found it more unsettling then because I was paying more attention. I was getting a little bit deeper into what was going on and I was really fucking focused on it. And then I noticed all the little things that kind of fucking creeped me out about it. So for that reason, and because it has had such a lasting effect and has affected so many people, I think it's up there with one of the ones that's going to scare the shit out of. If a little kid goes, if one of our kids watched it right now, it's one that's going to keep you awake.
Of course it is. Yeah. For no, couldn't watch it.
But so look, I'm looking forward to see what they do with it. It's kind of like, it's like again, I keep going back to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the first one is perfect. The second one is perfect for a different reason. It's horror comedy. It's not a pure horror.
Yeah.
You know, for pure horror, the first one is the perfect horror movie.
Yep.
For horror comedy, the second one is the perfect horror comedy movie.
One.
Then the third and fourth one I enjoyed because it kind of continues on the whole Sawyer path. And after that, they lose me. And it's kind of the same with The Exorcist. The first one is pure horror. The second one, like most people, I can take it or leave it. The third one, fucking spectacular. It's out of nowhere, something completely different, but still holds on to the original in a way and has all these unsettling bits and pieces in it. And it's fucking fun to watch. And Brad Dourif's in it, so obviously it's going to be fucking great. And then after that, they just kind of fucking lose me. You know? I didn't like the prequel. I wasn't a big fan of the prequel. I wasn't a big fan of the fact that they remade the prequel directly after the fucking making. They made the prequel. Then they go, Skarsgård, come on back here. We're going to do the same movie again, just slightly
Exorcist,
different.
the beginning. I actually enjoyed that one. I know that a lot of people didn't.
So what was the
but
one
I
before
liked
it? It was Exorcist Beginning and Exorcist, was it Salvation or some
I
shit like
think
that?
so. Let me have a look at Skarsgård here. I'll tell you. It was definitely the beginning came
It was
first.
pretty much the same movie, just slightly fucking different. Not to the degree of fucking Silent Night, Deadly Night, where they did the first
But
movie in the first 40 minutes.
the same. Yeah, so The Exorcist Beginning was 2004. Dominion.
Dominion, that was it.
That was 2005, literally a year after.
Yeah, but that's what happened.
Yeah.
The production company weren't happy with the first version of it, and they basically got Skarsgård back, went back to location, took some of the elements of the story, and then changed some other elements of it and released it.
I don't know if I watched Dominion. I definitely saw the beginning and I did like it.
They're bad. They're fine. They're grand. And then Exorcist Believer, do you know what? I'd watch it again to see how I feel about it now because I've only ever seen it once and I can't remember paying a whole lot of attention to it because it just felt like
I think when we were watching it, we were like, well, that's a plot point. As in like if there was some kind of a plot hole there or something, we were like,
but it just felt like a rehash of something I've already seen.
Yeah.
Know? And
except
again,
instead they put it as two girls.
Would this movie have done better if it didn't have the legacy of the original Exorcist hanging from its fucking neck? If everyone wasn't expecting to see all these references from the original Exorcist, would this have fucking worked as a movie? As a tribute to the Exorcist rather than being a remake, reboot, refucking whatever it is.
It felt like a continuation because I mean, like
It was a continuation because they have fucking
Ellen and Bernstein and Regan. Her name always escapes me.
Well, Linda Blair.
Yeah.
Was she in it for a lot of it?
No.
I really can't remember that movie. It had no and that's the other side of it then as well. It had no lasting effect on me.
No, all I can remember is two girls back to back in that room and they were being exorcised. There had to be some deal or save one or something.
Bernstein walking in at the end.
Yeah.
I don't remember Linda Blair in the movie at all.
Linda Blair was definitely in that movie.
No,
I don't think she was in much of it, but she was in the movie.
I can't remember her at all. Anyway, we move on. Zach Krieger. This is a little bit of an update because we've already mentioned that he is so this is a man who did Barbarians and Weapons and is directing the new Resident Evil. So here's a little update on that. He says the movie, because for people who are wondering, because obviously we have, when it comes to Resident Evil movies, you got two different kind of timelines. You have the, what's her name, Mila
Mila Jovovich.
That's it. You got
It's
her
not that long.
that doesn't really have anything to do with the video games.
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
Just a few names here and there. And then you had Welcome to Raccoon City, which was 100% as many of the characters we can get in and as many references as we can get
them all in.
Which I kind of enjoyed. I mean, it felt like a lot happened in a very short space of time, and it kind of got jumbled up a little bit, which made it hard to follow or to remember everything.
Yeah.
But I remember thinking it's pretty good for what it is. I still haven't watched the TV show because generally if a TV show is out for a season, I haven't watched it and it gets cancelled. It's like,
what's the point? Like, was it a Netflix one?
Yeah, you're going to let me hang in. I mean, I'm not going to put myself through that. The only thing that would make me want to go and watch that is the dude we like from the guy that died from The Wire that looks like a fucking alien.
Lance Reddick.
That's it.
I love Lance Reddick.
He's in it. So that would make me want to go back and watch it for the sake of 8 episodes.
He's fantastic. I loved An American Horror Story when he was Papa Legba. That was one of his best roles.
Anyway, Zach Krieger has promised the movie will be obedient to the lore of the original video games, but won't reuse any of the game's established characters since their stories have already been told in game form.
Okay.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
I like that thing.
Yeah.
It's not so much that we're getting a remake or we're getting a movie version of the game. We're in the universe of the game. We're going to recognize a lot of the shit from the game, but we're not going to be running along with Jill Valentine or any of the rest of them, you know?
Yeah.
Production is underway and the team has transformed the streets of Prague into snow-covered versions of Raccoon City. Nice. The film's premise reportedly follows a character named Brian, an organ courier whose late-night hospital delivery becomes a nightmare when an accident triggers a horrific bioengineered outbreak filled with grotesque tentacle mutation horrors, bringing the horror roots of the original game into cinematic story. Now, I will say, one small thing is, where I wouldn't want a direct remake of like the video games.
No.
I think abandoning all characters from the video games is a bad idea.
I'd love to. Has she ever been in the movies? You know, lady, what's her name with the cool hat?
Well, that was only like one game ago. So.
Oh, is that all? I'd like to see her in a movie because I think she's class. She's creepy.
Village, which was the last one.
Okay.
And the new one, I think, is up February.
Okay.
I think. I don't know. I'm only on 4.
I haven't. No, I've played the first Resident Evil, but I'm a bit of when it comes to me on my own in a room, like even when I sit here and Twitch on a Monday night, once it gets to like 12 and the house is kind of quiet and there's certain things that I'm playing, I'm like, oh my God, is somebody standing behind me? Is there somebody like in their faces like just right there and they're like looking at me?
Got a camera on you. How can you not even see that shit? You can
I
see
know, but sometimes these things aren't picked up on camera, Josh. I'm joking. No, but you know the way your mind works and you're kind of playing a creepy game and it's like, nah, maybe it's time to turn it off for the night.
So anyway, most notably, Krieger has said he's intentionally structuring the film like a video game, emulating the pace, atmosphere, and layering of dread that define the games. He claims that no movie has yet really leaned into what those games offer and aims to deliver a narrative film that mimics the tension, progression, and horror game logic of the source material. Now, if anyone's going to do a good job at that, it's going to be him. When you look at Barbarian and you look at Weapons, the way they're structured is different to how you have seen other movies being structured.
Yeah.
So I think he's a good man for doing this job.
Absolutely.
And I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with this. But I really want to get finished with this because as soon as he's finished with this, and we've mentioned this before as well, but he's now completely 100% confirmed that a prequel focused on Aunt Gladys is in development. 100%. The idea isn't new, he said. He said the prequel story was something he had in his pocket even before the first film came out.
Okay.
So he knew where he was going with this. The prequel aims to explore Aunt Gladys's backstory. In the original Weapons script, there was an entire chapter about her origin, but it was cut to keep the movie from running too long.
See, I was full sure as we were watching the movie, we were going to get like 5-10 minutes of just her, just to kind of show us. So
sometimes I think less is more though with that.
Yeah,
I think the less you know, the less you know. I mean, again, it goes back to the Mike Myers white face mask. It's like the less detail on the mask, the more creepy the fucking mask is. So, I mean, the less we know about these people, and it's the same as with Black Christmas, where some people will complain that, oh, well, how are we supposed to, like we said earlier on, how are you supposed to decipher what he said in the phone calls? It was like, I didn't need to decipher.
We didn't need
what was in the phone
to
calls.
us. I mean, now it is explained
enough.
to us.
It was scary enough not knowing what the fucking dude was talking about.
He was just a nut job.
Yeah, that was more
Could
than
strike
scary
anywhere,
enough.
anytime, any phone. But now we know why he was targeting
And
that
then those
specific
wild
phone.
POV fucking shots in the fucking attic.
Mhm.
Just, you know, when he's fucking pushing the rocking chair and she's all plasticed up and.
Ugh.
Anyway, Krieger revealed that when originally discussing the character with actress Amy Madigan, he gave her two possible origin paths. Either Gladys was once a normal human using dark magic to heal herself, or she was a non-human creature disguised as a human. Whether the prequel will confirm one version or the other, or take a different approach completely, remains unknown.
If it's going to use one of those reasons, I think that it would make more sense if she was a normal human using dark magic.
Considering how she was ripped apart at the end of the last one, yeah, it would make
There's
more
that,
sense that she's...
But also having the knowledge, because I think that's like birch or silver birch, I think is what's used magically, like snapping the twig and stuff like that. It makes all kind of sense. Like,
I like the witchy element.
Yeah, so do I. We don't get enough witch movies.
I thought it was a cool modern twist on a witch movie.
Yeah,
you know?
and it's fucking creepy. It's a creepy witch movie. And when you do get a witch movie, it's never really that creepy, except for the Robert Egger one.
And when they go with witches, they usually go gothic classic. You know, it's always back Salem times, you know?
Yeah.
It's never right now, you know? And that was...
Except for The Craft.
Yeah, but I mean in the style of... I
a proper horror movie. No,
I haven't seen The Craft,
no.
so I
But I
can't
mean,
really
like,
comment on
Aunt
it.
Gladys is the bad person. She's
But
a
The
proper
Craft,
witch.
To me, feels like a teen movie.
It is. They're not bad people, really. Like, do you know, like they're not as nefarious as Aunt Gladys at all.
I went into Weapons intentionally not knowing anything about the movie. I didn't want to know about the movie.
I stayed the
I
fuck
just knew
away from
kids go
anything.
missing, and that's as much as I knew going in. So when she showed up, I was kind of like, what's this about? And then like when I start seeing her snapping the twigs, I was like, this is a witch movie. I was like, fuck, this is really original for a witch movie.
But for a witch movie that makes you jump, it made me jump a few times, and not necessarily because it was super creepy, but there were certain scenes in it. You're like, oh shit, I loved that.
Right, last up, another remake.
Okay,
this one could be interesting.
Oh no!
So there will be a remake of the classic 1983 slasher Sleepaway Camp.
Does that need a remake?
I am just curious on how we handle the main plot point here in today's day and age. You know?
Yes.
I understand 1983, very different time. You could get away with a lot more when it came to that subject. But how are people like the trans community and all that going to take to this specific story? They're going to have to change some stuff.
But you can be trans and be a psycho. Just because you're trans, it doesn't mean
But
you
it
can
was
be.
hidden throughout. And I mean,
I know.
the main reason she was a psycho was she was forced into becoming a fucking girl, you know?
Yeah.
And then you have that weird scene at the end with her fucking dong hanging out and fucking...
I don't think they're going to show that. Yeah.
So they officially announced the script's completion. I saw this during the week. Felicia Rose had it up on her Instagram. Attention campers, our script has arrived. Please meet us at the waterfront after the social for a table read. Casting notices are expected soon.
Is Felicia Rose going to be in it?
I don't know. She is not. She's in the first one.
She is.
She's not in the second and third one. The second and third one, it is... I can't remember the name of the girl, but Bruce Springsteen's sister is in it as well.
So is Charlie Sheen's sister.
Yes. So is she Bruce? Who's the killer? Bruce Springsteen's sister.
Bruce Springsteen's sister, as far as I can remember.
I can't remember, but Felicia Rose comes back for the fourth and fifth one, I think, but I don't think she plays the same part in the fifth one. I think she might be kind of more like cameo side. I don't know. I have to watch the fourth and fifth
My
one.
God, Felicia Rose has a load of upcoming.
Oh, but she's horror fucking right. That girl's in every fucking horror movie.
Well, this is an interesting one. The events surrounding A Peeping Tom. She's Dr. Winters in it. That's in post-production. Completed. Sorry.
Yeah, well, like I said, she's a bit of a fucking scream queen. She has been since fucking the days of Sleepaway Camp.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Well, yeah. But it's just, you don't often see that many upcoming on an actress page. Like, there is...
Busy
Busy woman.
So that's it. That's pretty much all of my news this week. It kind of covers it. But again, a lot of remakes, a lot of reboots to look forward to next year. But that's not to say we don't have a lot of fucking original shit coming next year to look forward to.
New Fear's Eve is coming.
New Fear's Eve.
Felicia Rose is in it. 2025, so you might get it this year.
Yeah, I'm still stuck on New Year's Evil. I enjoyed that.
We'll watch New Year's Evil, but
I watched it twice in the
I
last
can
week.
watch it. I mean, I haven't watched it.
All right, so let's have a look at some movie reviews. And I finally figured out how to do these reviews. What I'm going to do every week now is I'm going to do a new one, and I'm going to do whatever we're covering on the show.
Cool.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then if there's a week where we're kind of where the topic of the show bleeds over 2 or 3 weeks, I'll pick a classic to throw in there instead.
Cool.
So we talked about this last week in the news in the chat segment. So this week and I promised to review it. So let's have a look at Deathstalker.
Deathstalker 2025 or 2250, if you're Josh writing the
I
script,
know,
is a remake of the cult classic 1983 sword and sorcery film. Written and directed by Steve Kostansky and starring Daniel Bernhard, Peyton Oswald, Christina Orialo, and Connor Sweeney.
I love Connor Sweeney.
I like Connor Sweeney. The long hair suits him. He looked kind of Legolas vibes.
He's so cheesy. It's awesome. Stephen Kostansky's Deathstalker is a loving, blood-splattered tribute to the original 1983 cult classic, but instead of leaning into the sleazy nudity and exploitative edge of its source material, it reimagines the world through a cleaner, more playful fantasy lens. This is very much a modern requel. Over-the-top swordplay. So that answers your question straight off the top of, is this a reboot or remake? It's not. It's a requel. Meaning a little bit of a reboot, but really it's sequel.
Yeah, sequel even.
So this is a modern requel. Over-the-top swordplay, outlandish monsters, and practical gore galore, but without the forced, not safe for work titillation that marked many of those early Corman-era films.
We call it titillation or just rape?
We'll talk about it after. For the fans of the original, Kostansky stays remarkably true to the spirit of the earlier Deathstalker, the cursed amulet, the evil necromancer, the ragtag quest party, yet he reframes it. Where the 1983 film leaned heavily into exploitation, the new version channels its energy into creature design and practical effects. The result feels nostalgic, but not derivative. It's tongue-in-cheek without becoming a parody and earnest without pretending to be epic fantasy opera. If you haven't seen the original Deathstalker, then this can feel like you've just been dropped into the middle of a long-running quest. Important lore and relationships are often alluded to rather than explained, which can be a little disorientating at first. But Kostansky's world building is solid enough, and the characters, especially Deathstalker himself, are easy to latch onto. Stick with it. You'll quickly catch up with the stakes and understand why everyone is chasing that amulet. One of the most striking things about this reboot is how much it feels like a love letter from Kostansky's Astron 6 roots. The monsters, trolls, swamp creatures, two-headed beasts are wonderfully tactile, clearly made in latex and foam, and animated with that handmade DIY spirit. The practical effects workshop of his Astron 6 stays shine through. Grotesque limbs, gory decapitations, puppetry, and stop-motion adjacent creature work all get center stage. It's a true spectacle of gore and creativity, and Kostansky's experience with practical VFX pays off beautifully. Tonally, the movie balances silly humor and brutal violence in a way that feels very Astron 6. There's cartoonish carnage, heads flying, limbs severed, but also moments of genuine camaraderie, especially between Deathstalker and the wizard Doodad, who is voiced by Patton Oswalt. While the plot isn't deeply complex, some critics have said it leans into the archetypes a little bit too much. That feels deliberate. This is a B-movie in spirit, not a sprawling epic. In short, Deathstalker is a righteous, self-aware, and gore-happy revival. It retains the nostalgic charm of the original while leaving behind its more problematic elements and replaces them with creative, practical effects and unabashed sense of humor. For anyone who loved old school sword and sorcery, cheesy monsters and DIY creature effects, it's a joyous ride. And for newcomers, it's an oddball but accessible world well worth investing in. Now, I think we said it last week best when you kind of pointed out, was like, yeah, you could call what Deathstalker does in the original rapey, but if you look at all the fucking romance novels that women used to read back in the day,
it's
that was
what the
kind
hero
of what was in
did.
theme.
He saved
It's on
her
theme.
and then he
took her.
took her, basically.
So
And they were willing.
I mean, when you watch The Simpsons and marriage is like fucking fantasizing with her in a book, it's the big, muscly, long, blonde-haired fucking guy
Fabio.
who comes up and just grabs her and pulls her. There's no asking.
No.
Asking kind of in that form kind of kills the mood a little bit, doesn't it? You kind of have to take her.
Just
but these
take
days
your
you don't
chances.
do that.
You might get arrested. You might not get arrested.
Watch the Chappelle Show episode with the love contract.
Oh, yeah. That feels like it's going to be the norm in the future.
And here, initially here, if you're okay with anal. No one else. No. I get it. That's okay. First time. I love that.
I gotta start watching the Chappelle Show again, man.
But I love Deathstalker. I love Astron 6. I love Steven Kostanski. They can do no wrong.
No.
I mean, even down to the whole fucking cheesiness of it, or the, you know, them kind of saying that it can be a little, I don't know, fucking, where was that line that had me thinking? It was...
Feels like a B movie, but it's on purpose.
Yeah, it's on purpose, and that's kind of what the Astron 6 guys do, isn't it? We talked about this last week's episode. It's like when you see a glitch in their editing, or you see someone fuck up, you realize they did it on purpose.
It's the movie kind of being self-aware of what it is like. Yeah.
It's like I said, these guys are the new and improved Trauma in my eyes, you know?
Yes.
Trauma with better effects people.
Yeah, you see,
and
Trauma...
better actors.
I think Trauma sometimes is a bit more parody. Do you know that kind of way? I don't think Astron 6 is parody in a lot of them.
I don't know. I mean, like, when you think of a Toxic Avenger and think of, like, stuff like fucking...
well, I'm not shitting on it at all.
They're very
it works
similar in their kind of tone of what kind of movie they are. You know, different eras.
Yeah.
I don't know. Go check it out, though. It's well fucking worth it. Deathstalker, the new one, is awesome. And what the best thing about it is even if it leaves you a little confused at times, because like I said, it does feel like you're supposed to know who everybody is. It's like it's not like a movie where there's a beginning, middle, and end. It's like you're there for the day in the life of Deathstalker. You just happen to be shadowing him that day, and all this shit has happened beforehand that you don't know about, and you just have to fucking try and work it out. You kind of, like I said, you slip into it eventually and you get comfortable. Okay. If you want to be a bit better prepared going in, go back and watch the originals first. But I
you're
found
getting
it
a
more
different
fun
story.
to
Like,
watch this and then go back and watching the originals, and the originals kind of meant more to me then because I had seen the new one. You know? But yeah, the next up and finishing us out for today was the subject of It's a Live podcast this week, and that was Pearl from 2022.
So in 1918, a young woman on the brink of madness pursues stardom in a desperate attempt to escape the drudgery, isolation, and lovelessness of her life on her parents' farm. Directed by Ty West, written by Ty West and Mia Goth, and starring Mia Goth, David Cornswet, and Tandy Wright.
Ty West's Pearl is a masterclass in prequel storytelling, delivering a rich, immersive look into the early life of one of modern horror's most fascinating characters. Serving as a prelude to X, the film doesn't just set up backstory, it constructs a fully realized world that feels lived in, tense and deeply unsettling. From the moment the camera lingers over the sun-baked, claustrophobic farmstead, it's clear that West has painstakingly built an environment that amplifies every emotion, every moment of dread. Mia Goth delivers a powerhouse performance as Pearl, navigating a complex emotional landscape with astonishing nuance. Her portrayal captures both the charm and the volatility of a young woman trapped between ambition and the oppressive constraints of her surrounding. Goth's physicality, expressions, and timing make Pearl simultaneously sympathetic and terrifying, drawing the audience into her psyche while hinting at the monstrous evolution to come. In many ways, her performance anchors the entire film, making Pearl's world feel both intimate and expansive. The support cast, while often playing against the sun-baked backdrop rather than overshadowing it, adds layers to the story. Their interactions with Pearl reveal societal pressures, gender expectations, and the suffocating dynamics of small-town life in the early 20th century, creating a fully fleshed out microcosm in which Pearl's ambitions and frustrations can resonate. West's attention to these details makes the prequel feel essential rather than merely supplementary. It's a story that stands on its own while enriching the X-universe. Aesthetically, Pearl is a triumph. The cinematographer's work captures the harsh, unforgiving sunlight of the rural setting while contrasting it with the warm, obsessive glow of Pearl's, I was about to call her Earl, Pearl's interior space. Her fantasies, her desires, her delusions. Costume, set, and production design all contribute to the meticulous recreation of period-specific details, from domestic interiors to the textures of Pearl's surrounding, reinforcing the claustrophobia and intensity of the narrative. Ty West's world building is equally meticulous in narrative terms. The film seamlessly weaves thematic threads, ambition, repression, obsession into the visual and performative elements, laying a foundation for the horrors of X. By the time the credits roll, audience understand that not just the character of Pearl, but the world that shaped her. A place of longing, restriction, and darkly simmering potential for violence. In sum, Pearl is more than a prequel. It is a rich, textured exploration of character, setting, and aesthetic anchored by a stunning lead performance. For the fans of the X trilogy and newcomers alike, it's a gripping, unforgettable cinematic experience that elevates horror through world building and artistry. And I think that's one thing about this movie that I would say. You can watch this as a part of the trilogy, or it can stand alone and it doesn't make a flying fuck of a difference. You don't need to know what happens next. You don't need to know what happens to Maxine to watch Pearl and enjoy every minute of it. The colors are fucking gorgeous. And Mia Goth, as far as I'm concerned, this is 100% her best performance.
Oh, yeah. It's
Hands
absolutely
down.
fantastic. Yeah.
Like, what? This is the one that made me look at her and go, holy shit. This girl's going to be around for a while.
Yeah.
You know, she's got something. She's got it. She's got the X factor those stupid church people said she didn't have when she was on stage and dancing her heart out. But I love it. Funny note for anybody that listened to our episode this week and wonder how I got the name for the projectionist, because he is only credited as a projectionist and he's not actually given a name in the movie. He doesn't have a name. So obviously it's David, what's his second name?
Corn Sweat.
Corn Sweat?
Corn Sweat. CorenSwet. Unless it's Corn Sweet, but that doesn't make sense. I'm pretty sure it's Corn Sweat.
I took his first name, and then since he's Superman, I took Clark Kent's second name and I called him David Kent for the movie or for the episode.
Shouldn't call him. Or yeah.
I have to do that sometimes. Sometimes the characters don't have names, so I usually ordinarily use the actor's name in that case. But I thought his name was too big because he's Superman. So I thought it was just a better idea to maybe mash the two of them together.
David Kent or Clark Cornsweat.
You know, I thought that David Kent sounded fine.
Yeah.
Same with her dad. Her dad doesn't have a name in the fucking movie.
What you call him, Max? Matt.
The actor's name is Matt.
Okay.
Matthew. So I just went with Matt.
And her mom?
No, she is. She's Ruth.
She's Ruth.
Yeah,
good biblical name.
She actually had a name in the fucking
movie.
Yeah. So yeah. Sometimes I gotta add these little bits and pieces to make the fucking story work. Otherwise,
you do?
Like, why would I not know the name of her father or name for mother? You know, if this guy, this projectionist, went missing and is fucking dead, I gotta know what his name is and where he's gone. So I gotta fucking give him that name. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, if you haven't seen it, go fucking see it. You don't have to watch all three of the movies. You can just watch one. But I dare you to watch this one and not want to see the other two.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You win.
Yeah. I loved it. What did you think?
Of Pearl?
I know you love Pearl.
Oh, I love Pearl. I like this. I like all three. I love that. But I've always liked Mia Goth. I first saw her in period dramas, and she was just absolutely unreal. I think I would agree Pearl is her best performance, but I think just
And
under
so-
her best performance, like her second best was definitely Infinity Pool. I mean, that scene where you're supposed to hate her, say, James! That's, I mean, so grating,
Fuck.
but it's so perfect. Perfect. Even though you're like, oh, well, she shut
That
the
movie
fuck
is so
up.
fucking weird.
I loved it. There's 2 versions.
What?
Yeah, so my brother was explaining this to me. So he asked me which version I saw, and I was like, I saw Infinity Pool. And he was like, no, there's
Strange one, weird one.
yeah. And he said that that there's, do you know when they take all the drugs and it's all of them in the apartment?
We're having the kind of weird orgy kind
Yeah.
of thing going on.
Yeah, I think that there's one. I think the way he explained it to me was there's a version that's a tiny bit less blue and a tiny bit, and then there's a version that's a tiny bit more kind of graphic with what they.
We saw the
I-
graphic version.
do you think?
I think I remember seeing vagina.
Yeah, I can't. You see, I don't know if we saw the less graphic version or did we see. Do you know, I don't see how you could get more graphic than that, but maybe there's one out there that's completely off the
Full
wall.
penetration. All right.
Maybe it wouldn't be the first time.
Huh?
Oh well, she was in actually. She
Then
was
we'd
in.
both be happy. I'd be getting watch with Mia Goth and you'd be watching Skarsgård and 2 of us would be like
That's
this.
mad
So-
because I'm pretty sure Mia Goth is in Nymphomania, where there's the unsimulated sex.
Yeah, but that's a bit. Not that it's a bit that it's unsimulated sex. It's a bit that the actors themselves were doing the unsimulated sex. What was actually done was
It's porn stars.
yeah. There's doubles brought in, and they show the penetration and the physical sex, but it's not actually the stars of the movie
Exactly.
performing the physical sex.
Yeah, I do know though that you can see. I think you can see some bits and pieces though in Nymphomania because I think Lars von Trier decided not to show William Dafoe's penis because he said that
big
his penis,
old dog.
he said his penis was too big and that people would only be
Big
focusing
old
on that.
hog on William Dafoe. He walks around like he's got big dick energy.
He
right, doesn't he?
does. I like William Dafoe as well. Yeah,
All right.
not for that reason though.
Yeah, right.
I've never seen it. I mean, everybody was talking about Michael Fassbender. George Clooney alluded to it, but it's not something that I'm interested in seeing. To be honest, you know that kind of way. I'm not like, oh my god, I need to go watch that movie because you're going to see this person's junk in it.
Not even a small bit curious if William Dafoe really is as hung as everybody says he is.
If everybody says he is, I'm sure he is, and I'm really happy for him. But I like watching his performances.
Yeah, I like when he goes after Spider-Man. I'll get you, Spider-Man.
I like him in English Patient.
Was really good in the was it Homecoming? Was that the one where the 3 Spider-Men were in it together?
Yes.
And he
yeah.
his thing, and he had a really good performance in that.
Mm-hmm.
And I always said, and then the internet's always said, if they had gotten it, if they thought of it when he was a bit younger, perfect Joker.
Oh, absolutely, hands down. I mean, if you look at the cover of The Killing Joke and look at William Dafoe, I mean,
Bang on.
casting.
Bang.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bang on. It's a pity. I think he's kind of aged out of that now.
You could do an old Joker.
Well, they could because they could do Batman Beyond. Is it Batman Beyond the one where Terry Guinness is Batman? Is the new Batman with the red fucking logo and no cape, and Batman Bruce is kind of like his mentor. And then there's also The Dark Knight something or other. Fuck, I've read these comics. See, this is what happens. I know all this shit and I blank. Every fucking week we sit here, I blank on something. But there's one basically where Frank Miller wrote it.
Okay.
And Bruce is retired for years and he comes back out of retirement and he's like, but he's huge looking. It's The Dark Knight. No.
William Dafoe doesn't have an Oscar. Make that one make sense.
Comic. Old Batman. Dark Knight Returns. Yeah.
Dark Knight Returns.
Dark Knight Returns.
I was going to
he's
say that,
coming
but I don't know
back
why I was going to say
and
that.
He's older and a bit more beat up, but you could do that and put Defoe in as Joker.
Absolutely, you could. Yeah.
Even though I could swear part of his retirement is that he actually killed the Joker at some point. No, there's one with the Joker in it. Yeah, we could do it. We couldn't do it.
That's what I was wondering. You keep saying we could do it.
James
I'm like,
Gunn.
Really?
You know what you got to do. You know what you got to do.
Do you know what he was great in was the Boondocks?
Show us
Boondock Saints, even.
Joker's huge dong.
I feel like the Jokers would have burnt off in the thing that in the chemicals he fell into the.
I don't know, to keep a girl like Harley Quinn happy. I think he's still got that packet in his pants.
I think that's why Harley Quinn did like
went
him.
Went to Poison Ivy. She just got sick of it.
Yeah,
Smooth like a Ken doll. I'm going over here to Poison Ivy. See you later, buddy. All right, we're done. We're out of here. We will see you all next week. Check out our Patreon at the Horrorverse Network. $5 a month, 7-day free trial. You get all our extras over there. You get It's a Live Action, Celebrity Rap Sheet, Playing with Bones, Mini Monsters. All you need is a free fucking account for Mini Monsters. Yeah. We got a bunch of free shit coming up there over Christmas as specials. We have Amy's photo drop every Saturday. And the Christmas ones are woo. And then after that, the New Year's ones are all cosplay and they're fucking awesome looking as well. They're fucking crazy looking. You got some Art the Clown ones there that I'm really looking forward to.
I love my Art the Clown ones.
What else do we got over there? And if you want to see Amy every Monday night
from 10 to 12 hours time.
Yes, which is about 4 to 6 Eastern. A lot earlier for you LA people, like lunchtime. I don't know. But you can watch them on your lunch break and you can watch her play. What are you playing at the moment? Witcher
3. Well done.
So check that out at Amy Rose 9 on Twitch. You can check us out on socials at Alive Pod and Amy Rose IAA. That's it. We are done. We are out of here. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Same Alive time. Same Horrorverse channel.
See you later.
Love you. Bye-bye.